The Department of Homeland Security has put a pause on a board created to combat disinformation amid a campaign to discredit it. So what are they talking about here? So I made a video about this about a week ago. Now, I believe the video was labeled something like Joe Biden's Disinformation Governance Board or Joe Biden's Ministry of Truth or something like that, which a lot of people were comparing it to for obvious reasons. If you've seen Harry Potter, in one of the movies, they have the Ministry of Truth, who basically changes a lot of the politics, and there's a whole story that goes into it. So a lot of people were comparing it to that because it was a really scary thing to hear from our government that they were creating a board all about disinformation surrounding the public. A lot of people were scared about what that could mean. If you didn't see my video about that, I encourage you to go watch it. There was a lot of good points I made in that video and a lot of things that I'm not going to bring up here because I don't want to be repeating myself too much. But essentially their goal was to combat disinformation regarding smugglers, regarding Russia, and a few other things. But it was a very broad mission statement, and people were just really worried about where that might go, including myself. I was worried about where that might go. And a lot of people were saying, oh, they're not going to be targeting Americans or anything like that. Well, we have this from Nina Jankowitz on Twitter, who was going to be the head of this Disinformation Governance Board. She's got a few tweets here. Now, this is the one that people are pointing out right now. Since this piece was published in summer 2020, the spread and effects of disinformation on American society have only worsened and become entrenched in domestic politics, as the last few weeks of my life have shown. This is the type of work I had hoped to do at the Department of Homeland Security, and the type of work that USG sorely needs to invest in. This is the type of work that I have built my career on, not a few contextless tweets, and this is the type of work I will continue in the public sphere. So she directly says that she was going to work on disinformation in American society because it has worsened, which I do agree that disinformation in American society has worsened, but I don't think the government should be the ones tackling that. The government should just keep out of that, just stay the frick away from it. But so we have this, back to this article here. So let's see. A group within the Department of Homeland Security that was set up to focus on combating disinformation has been put on pause, DHS said Wednesday, and its director Nina Jankowitz is stepping down. So they say it's on pause. But the person that was going to be the head of it is stepping down, and they don't really have any plans for it in the future. So what's going to happen there? I'm not really sure. Let's just hope that this is the end of the Ministry of Truth and they don't try to bring it back. I brought up in my video previously that this is just one of those things that the government tries to do where they're like, let's just slip this in there. Kind of like, what's it called? Capital gains tax or something like that. They're like, oh, we'll only do it to a few people, and then they slowly bring it to more and more and more people, and eventually, a generation or two down the line, it's like, oh, it's always been here. Oh, who cares? Whatever. It's always been a thing. Same thing with I said that about Social Security numbers. Me in my generation, we don't think twice about Social Security numbers, but people like my great-grandma, they never had that, and then all of a sudden the government was like, hey, you gotta get this. And it's like, what? So it's just like, it's this kind of thing where like the government, they try to encroach on our freedoms, and then they expect us to like forget about it after a few generations, and then eventually it just becomes normal, and then they continue to encroach, and they just keep getting closer and closer and closer until they get what they want. Now, what do they want? I can't tell you, but what I want is freedom. I want freedom for you. I want freedom for me. I want freedom for everybody. But the government trying to combat disinformation, sounds great, but in practice, what will that really do? I don't know. But that's my update on the Department of Homeland Security pausing their disinformation board. What I want to move on to now, I didn't want to make two videos about this, is the baby formula shortage. We're still in a baby formula shortage. I haven't gotten any at my work. It's still an ongoing issue. The United States continues to grapple with a nationwide infant formula shortage. A military plane carrying over 500,000 baby bottles worth of specialty formula touched down in Indianapolis on Sunday as part of President Joe Biden's Operation Fly Formula plan. So this is the only thing that they've done I also made a video about this if you want to go back and watch that. It was I believe it was the last video I did before my I just posted a video talking about monkeypox, so it's the video before the monkeypox video. Go ahead and go check that out. It talks about the formula shortage that's going on in the United States. The government's not really doing a whole lot to alleviate the problem here. It talks about their $28 measure here, or $28 million measure. I talk about that in my video. It's not really anything useful. On Wednesday, Biden invoked the Defense Production Act to force suppliers to prioritize the production of infant formula. Now, I didn't see that. I didn't talk about that in my video. That sounds good. Hopefully something actually comes from that. But yes, we are still dealing with the infant formula crisis, and the government is slow to alleviate the problem. I do like this here by the Biden administration. The plane carrying 500,000 bottles of baby formula got flown in as like a specialty fly-in, but it's just ridiculous to me that we're even in this situation. The government should have had a handle on this long before even getting to this point. I talk about in my previous video how this had been going on for almost over a year now, and they've had plenty of time to deal with this. But it is what it is. They talk about why we have an infant formula shortage. I talk about that in my video as well. There's a whole lot of different things that go into it. There's a few factories that were shut down, and there's some diseases that were found in some of the infant milk. So there are some serious things that are going on with that. But yeah, that's the update. Their government's slow to act, and they put a pause on their Disinformation Governance Board. This video is probably short, but I wanted to keep it short and simple. I don't know what else to share here other than Disinformation Governance Board is gone for now, hopefully permanently, and the baby formula shortage is still bad. It's still bad, and the government's slow to deal with it. Hopefully they'll get on that a little bit better here soon. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay away from bull crap like this, as much as you can. But it is what it is. I really feel bad for the families that are struggling to look for the formula that they need right now, and I sincerely hope you figure out a solution. But thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Check out some other videos, subscribe for more, and peace out. Have a good one.